This morning, October the 27th, is lesson 4. And I'm coming from the adult Christian book. And our topic today is trust. And the background passage from Psalm 62. And our printed passage is Psalm 62, verses 1 through 12. Our key verse is, "My soul wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him." Psalm 62, verse 5. And today's lesson is the fourth and final one from the book of Psalms, which are poems and prayers. And believe this one is written by David. They don't know for sure, but it begins with Psalm 62, verse 1. "For God alone my soul waits in silence." Now, when you're waiting on God, what's the first thing that you think about waiting in silence? You know, a lot of us don't have patience to sit down in silence. Whatever happens, we either got something to say or we're going to jump up and do something. But as David found out here all the time, that a lot of times you just need to sit back and be quiet. That saying that you say, you go to your little secret closet, somewhere where it's nice and quiet, nobody there, no distractions, and you just sit there. You can pray to God, or you can just sit there and just meditate and wait on him. You don't jump up and go running because you think you know what to do. Because half of us, 99% don't. Only God knows what we need. He already knows what we want. So we just have to be quiet and just wait on him. But as we went through this, David found that out though. All the times that he had to deal with the bears, the lions and stuff, God brought him out every time. And David wasn't going around nowhere, raising no cane or nothing, talking to nobody else. He just sat back, talked to God, and took his time. And just waited what God tell him to show him what he had to do. And it's the main thing, what we need to learn to do. Our first outline, we find strength in God. Psalm 62, verses 1 through 6. "Truly my soul waits upon God, from him comes my salvation. 2, he only is my rock and my salvation. He is my deliverance. I shall not be greatly moved. 3, how long will you imagine mischievous against a man? You will be slain, all of you, as the bowing wind of the bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence." And verses 1 through 3, you know, all David's saying here, that everything God is his salvation. So if you know God is his salvation, you just wait on God to do it. You just don't go off like some people go off running your mouth about this, running your mouth about that. And some people even go farther, they take action. You may find people in some churches you hear right, not too far from here, people getting up, fighting in church. Now what kind of mess is that? You know ain't nobody in there fighting, throwing punches in church. It's listening to God. We go to church to learn what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. But yet when you see people get up in church fighting and cussing the preacher out and doing all this kind of stuff, that's not of God. And they haven't been talking to God. Ain't nowhere in the world that they can do it and act like that. But it says, how long somebody do you wrong, how long you gonna sit there and like hold a grudge, playing mischief against another person? You know, if you're gonna be like him, you're gonna die. Or either you're gonna be like a bowing wall. You know how walls, you build a brick wall somewhere or something? Used to, you had the one that carried the curve in them, we call them a bow in the wall. And some that's not level, they got little dips in the wall. These are the one the walls have to be torn down and rebuilt because they would not hold the workload. That's what we need to do, and even just like a fence. A tolerant fence is a raggedy fence. It won't hold nothing out, won't keep nothing in. And depends on what hits it, it'll probably fall down. Any comments or questions?
You know, it talks about in your silence. Sometimes that's the most time that you'll hear God's still small whisper showing you what you've done wrong, what you've done right, leading you to do right and to lead you to apologize for the wrongs in the silence. I know there's a song about in the silence that you're waiting for God to answer. I don't know what the song is, but I know there's a song like that.
And it's just like when you get angry with somebody, you know your temper done got up, almost starts an argument. Then all of a sudden you'll stop. Say, let me go somewhere, find me a little corner, let me cool off, let me think about what's going on. That's the same thing like that. But it don't always have to be an argument with someone else, or it don't have to be a fight. It's just a problem with something that's bothering you. You can't talk to people because they don't care what's going on with you. And even if they do, there's nothing really that they can do about it. The only one that can help you is God. So you just go somewhere and be quiet and just wait for him. Like some people say, back in the prophet, they have prophecy. A lot of these prophets saw things that were going to happen in the future. Some people say it's a dream. Some just say it's a thought that God sent to them while they might have been asleep or something. And a lot of us today can be somewhere sitting, and we get those ideas. And then sooner or later, we're going further down the road, might be a year later. Seems like I've done this before. Seems like I've been here before. But you don't remember where that came from. That could have been something God put in your spirit a long time ago, just like the prophets. This is what to expect further on down the road. But that comes in silence. And a lot of things that God did when he was walking the earth, he didn't answer questions, really wouldn't answer. He asked them, answer any question with the question. And wouldn't never say anything else. Just simple stuff to make you think about what he's saying. But most of us, somebody says something else, you ask them a question. Look, just answer the question. Don't come at me with another question. Just answer the question. Some people ask something, yes or no. If somebody give you an answer, that's a mile long. It's simple stuff. All you got to do is listen. Any other comments?
Yeah. Excuse me. In today's society, productivity and keeping up with the Joneses seems to be the central theme. But we, as a people, have to sit still sometimes and let God work things out. We can't do it all. We have to let God come into our hearts and give us a revelation. Tell us what to do.
Very true, Mr. Allen. Because there's some things that we want done, we want it done right then. But God, you can't hurry God. You know, like the song said, you just have to wait. And when God says it's the right time, the right moment, he'll let you know. Either before, if you don't hear anything from him, when you look up, it's right there in front of you. You don't know how it got there. Any other comment? Verse 4. They only consult to cast him down from the exorcism. They delight in lies, they bless therein with their mouth, but they curse inwardly, Selah. You know, we got that today. You go around, you can do whatever you want to do. You'll get people saying, oh, you good, you doing the right thing, you doing this and doing that. But as soon as you turn your back and walk away, what they say? They're talking about you right. As soon as you turn your back and walk away, now you probably are doing a good job. Now some of them, they're not doing a good job. And they just boast you up to watch you fall. And you know, no matter where you go, I don't care where it is, you can find people in the church sitting back. They might be laughing out loud. They might just have a funny little smirk on their face. But you can tell just about whenever somebody's against you or trying to hinder you. And a lot of times you don't have to say nothing. You just sit back and wait. God will handle it all.
You're doing even worse than what you're doing.
Yeah. At least you're trying to do the right thing. But the devil's sitting something there to block you, try to pull you back down. But like to say, if the devil's not bothering you, he's already got you. He's already got you. If you're trying to do something right, every time you look, you got problems here, you're on the right track. Maybe you're not doing it the right way that God wants you to do it, but God is trying to show you these other stumbling blocks. And we say, whatever stumbling block you got, as long as you're doing what the Lord say, he'll move you stumbling blocks. He'll make your pathways bright, make your day a whole lot brighter, and move all those cares out your way. Anybody else? Verse 5. My soul wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. 6. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my deliverance. I shall not be moved. You know, when you're sitting there waiting on God, your expectations, if you don't have high expectations for someone else, especially like these TV evangelists, some of them may be true, some of them may not. There's a whole lot of them that's not. We discussed this at the military yesterday. You can go to some of these churches. You got some preachers that are good, and they mean what they're doing from the heart. But you got some that got their watered out waiting on you. Or they want to be taken care of. They're not trying to take care of you and help you get to heaven. They're just trying up there putting on a show so they can get paid, thinking everybody's gonna love them. But just as soon as they sit down, somebody's talking about them too. That's why every day you've got to be prayed up, and you got to be around somebody that knows something about God. You just can't hang around anybody and with everybody, because everybody's interest is not for you or your best interest at heart.
I got a question, Tyrone. How can these preachers, especially these televangelists, how can they be so rich when the people all around them are flat broke and they still give them their money? How can they be so filthy rich and be true to the word?
That's the topic that I was talking about yesterday. What we just said. Some of them got jets. And how many members in their church got a jet? They got Rolls Royce. I mean, right here in Rosehill, we had a preacher come through, and they got some more preachers to join them. They went to Africa somewhere. He promised all them Rolls Royces. When some of them came back, I remember one that backed out of it, and I know one that didn't. When they come back to America, the IRS was at their behind because of what they were doing. And I think there were one or two that went to jail for it. And the reason I know this is because they just couldn't put on programs at the radio station. And I was right there looking at them. And one of them, the one that told me about what they were doing, I know who went to Africa, who came back. I know one that I thought was a good friend. He got it at the end. So he got away. But a couple of them, they did. And that was because they were falling behind these others. They called them overseers. Because they had their own church thing or people or whatever they had going with them. And they didn't call them pastors or bishops, overseers. What they're overseeing is getting their money and getting their Rolls Royce, but not now one of them got there. They went on and did this and didn't get a thing but trouble. But as far as a preacher doing that, ain't no God in it. How you gonna take advantage of people that's supposed to be serving the Lord, and whatever money you get to your church should go for the mission or something, instead of putting a jet for you to ride up down the road with? Well, what's this? Remember, go back to the old days. What's the one that had the wavy curly hair? Reverend Ike. I was a little boy. Reverend Ike would send you out a prayer cloth. Like that prayer cloth was going to pray for you and help you get to heaven. But you had to send him a certain amount of money. And different thing that you wanted for him to do, or to pray about, another price. Same thing in Rosehill. At the town square. Preacher come down and say, some of the people that ready to say, they went out there. They had 2 or 3 different prayer lines. Each one of them had a different price that you had to pay for prayer. Now what kind of Christian is that? Who is he praying to? He's getting paid to pray for you. God didn't say you had to pay anything. You just open your mouth and say what you feel. But that's what some people will do.
There's a pastor in Greenville, a woman, who was on the news a couple of months ago, where she had this manager, and these people were just giving their money to her. Right in Greenville. I think her name is Rosa or something.
I asked the pastor, but he should know.
It's in Greenville,
But
It was long
cause he's from Greenville, so he's want to be nosy? You ask someone from there.
I don't see it happening now, but back in the older days, I went to a church here in Rosehill. I'm not gonna call the church name, but when the visiting pastor come in and speak, they would say how you're supposed to take care of your pastor, and they begged money. He asked all that pastor member to give that pastor $100 for his appreciation, a love offering. So other pastors begged money for the pastor of the church if they come in and visit. I don't see it happen that much now, but I went to church in Rosehill and I saw it happen that night.
But just like you talking about almost, it was in the community outside of Rosehill. There was a woman preacher, and every time she brings somebody into the church, they come there to praise her. And a lot of people from that church were talking about she was bringing in people to lift her up so that the members are there will bring somebody else thinking she's so special. This is what one of her members had said to me. There was a trustee at this church. So it's not about you. If you're a preacher or you just anybody that's coming to speak about God, if it's right and you're doing the right thing, people don't have to raise you up. God will tell you what you need to say, what you need to do. And if it's true, people will see that. They ain't got to give you nothing. Because everywhere you go, musicians of the church, everywhere else, people want to get paid. Me and a friend of mine grew up right here in this church. We had a gospel group. And we were going to another church. And we played wherever he go at. 2 or 3 different churches he played at. And I would get my guitar and I'd go play with him. We never charged the church a dime. And we had another guy come in with play lead guitar with us one Sunday. And he was good. He could be on TV anywhere he wanted to be. That's how good he was. But when we got through that Sunday, first thing he asked about, how much we get paid. We were told we don't get paid. We come do ours for free for the goodness of God. He never showed back up. But he had a talent that he could play now. And to waste that talent because you're not getting paid.
That's wasting your gift.
Yeah.
If you think that you have to get paid every time you open up your mouth, then you're wasting your gift.
Yeah, because anything you do for the Lord, there should be no price on it. You know, God gave up his life for us. And that's the biggest price anybody can pay for anything. But you're going around to different places, want to get paid because you think you're so special. But just like him, anybody else, just die. And he won't be heard again. He can't play no more. But when he died, with that kind of attitude, where he going to end up at? Because that's not a Christian-like attitude to have. That shows that he's not a saved person. And there are a lot of them like that. You know, we got people now. Look at Snoop Dogg. Hardcore, drugs, and rapping, all he did. Rapping gospel now. But not all the time. He went right back, he'd get in cause gospel people playing gospel music, and got so they make money now. They make good money. So even those people like Snoop and a couple more, I even seen other races rapping and singing. They do one song in the world, but they got another song, gospel. And I posted one of them on my Facebook page the other day. I had to listen to. Cause I had to go back and listen to it 2 or 3 times. I didn't believe the boys were doing it. And I listened to the word. They were rapping about Christ. One song and one rap, and they was good. But anything you got that God gives you, you're supposed to give back to the world for free. Now I heard a man say yesterday, when you up here, like the pastor preached about the other Sunday, you got stuff, suits, clothes, cars, houses. You praise all these things, but look, you can't carry none of it with you. And you don't want to give none to nobody else who's in need. But when you die, somebody gonna be fighting or give it away, or somebody gonna take it. Because you came into the world naked, you're going out of here naked. So we got to think about everything that we do and how we do it, and especially how we treat other people. And especially our youth. Because they look at everything we do. They hear everything we say. Sometimes it may look like they're not paying attention. But you go back later on and ask them something. They know about what was said in that section, then you would. So that's one thing we have to look out for. Any other comments? Our second outline, we find safety in God. Psalm 62, verses 7 and 8. And God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. 8. Trust in him at all times. You people pour out your heart before him, and God is a refuge for us. Selah. Salvation is ongoing. So we trust God. It's not just today, come in church, you get a good feeling in church, and some people you see about to shout in church. But they'll sit there and worry about other people gonna say, who looking at them. And they'll quench that spirit. And that's the worst thing you could ever do. When you shame the shortest person for God, what he has done for you, then God's gonna do the same thing to us when it comes down for us to die. So you got to be just in what you're doing, and yet let other people see it. Some say, let your light shine. If you don't let your light shine, they're gonna see nothing but darkness. So you can't help nobody, and ain't nobody helping you because you're not listening to God. And people say it's a hard job to decide this way or that way. When you go back, it's like a simple question. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Yes or no? You may not have the faith or the strength to jump off the top of that fence and quit straddling the fence. But it's not that hard. You just got to make up your mind to do it. You going down the road in your car, your truck, that gas you need to get about to eat. You're going to get some gas, or you're going to walk. Now you got cell phone, you can call somebody else, come bring you some gas or something. But yet, you see what you need, you're going to stop and get it. Just like you riding up down the road and get hungry. You're not going to go all day and not eat nothing. If you're hungry, you're going to eat. And that's the same thing we got to do about God. He's there, that Bible. What does it say? Basic instruction before leaving earth. Everything is printed out right there for us, what we need to do and how we need to do it. Some people don't even halfway want to believe what's in the Bible. But the thing that I noticed the most, that there are not too many preachers that you go to preach about Revelations. I guess a lot of people are scared of it. But it shows you and tell you what's going to happen in the end. That, I think we need to know more than what we keep going back over. Because if you really know and see what's going to happen in the end, it will change a lot of people. You know, just like last year we went to this church in Goldsboro, and they're doing another one this year. And they do a play from beginning to end. What's going to happen with God or without God. And at the end, if they ain't right, they show them going to hell. Or when they did good, they show them going to heaven. Now, they're doing it again this year, but every year they do it, it's a different way that they do it. So we got dates now. We're trying to find a date. We're planning on going back again this year because it don't cost nothing. Or you just go through it. You know, we have to make a appointment as a group, the church, and the ones that went last year, they really enjoyed it. You know, I think my grandson, he got to a certain point when they got ready to go to show the people going to hell, and he saw on the outside in the hallway with somebody else in the church. He didn't want to see that. But you know, as little he is, if that's scaring him, making him want to do right, it should make us do the same thing. And especially us older ones, we see people die, how they died, and a lot of them died for no reason. Somewhere at the wrong place where they shouldn't have been, or doing something they shouldn't have been doing. Now when they die, where they gonna go? If you're not right. Because just like our Jimmy said the other week, when we die, the dead in Christ, they're in the grave. The ones that died in Christ will be the first ones to get up. All those that were not in Christ, they're gonna lay there in the ground still rotting. Until everything is said and done. And then 1,000 years, they'll be here on earth. But those that didn't get up and go with God, they're gonna be in torment, purgatory. They're gonna suffer for them 1,000 years before they go to hell. So there's a lot to think about and what the Bible tells us. If you read it, what you got to look forward to. One word away. Either way, it's good or bad. There's no in between. Good and bad, good and evil. You just got two choices. And some people say it's hard to make a decision. It's just hard to make a decision. Once you get there, can't nothing be changed. Any other comments? Our third outline, we find stability in God. Psalm 62, verses 9 through 12. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. And I mean, if you're not right, and you're just sitting there walking around lying to yourself and to other people. And the worst part about it, when you're lying to yourself and you're telling somebody else something that's not right, and you know it's not right. You know, the Bible says there's a special place in hell just for you. Because you're not only taking your soul to hell, you're carrying somebody else with you. And you're supposed to be able to help somebody to find the right way, not take them down there with you. That's what some of these preachers, false prophets, you know, they're supposed to be called by God. Some of them go to school, get an education, think that's it. They're good to go. But God says, come to him. He will teach you what you need to know. Even though education is good, but whatever you're doing, you need to know what you're doing. But you got to be right about it. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Now, this is like we talked about a while ago. These preachers got the jets and Rolls Royces and stuff. You're supposed to not trust in people putting other people down. Start with. Don't oppress nobody. But then,
and God can hear your prayer, just like He heard that prayer.
yeah,
I had an old brother that was sick. He stayed in the bed a year when he was 10 years old. They tried to get my mama to call up Oral Roberts. She said, God can hear my prayer just like He hear Oral Roberts. And he ended up graduating on the first black to graduate from North Carolina State School of Engineering. And right now he got 4 grandchildren, doing good.
you're a dog. There's a lot of people that the doctor or someone told them they're supposed to be dead. They ain't supposed to be living. But yet, some of them get around better than some of us in church.
God can hear your prayer just like he can hear the preacher's prayer.
Yeah,
Get down on your knees and ask Him. That's all you got to do.
that's all.
We got a cousin like that, Tyrone. Linda Curry.
I was thinking about another cousin that's going through something. Has lupus real bad. Had a car wreck before the head was busted open, laid in the hospital on therapy for months. And she was really bad off. But then when she got out, she got this lupus. And going through her body. And I heard her Chapel Hill, but the woman to the doctor sometimes. And she sit there and say to her, every time she talked to the doctor, they find something else wrong. And said one doctor told her she's dying organ by organ. And for the last just about 5 years, everything they did, they're trying to find cancer. They can't find it. But the blood count stuff is all out of whack. And she's really bad off. She just had a procedure the other Monday down in Wilmington. That came back negative. But as soon as she healed up from that, after about 12 weeks, she got to go back for another one because she got one lump on her kidney, the other kidney got a mass. One didn't grow, the other one has grown. Now she's worried about that. Because already she can't swallow, she can't hardly eat nothing. If she do, she's sick. And she don't know what she'll do. And she's about 2 or 3 years younger than I am. But you never know what a person's going through. Any other comments? Number 11. God has spoken once. Twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto God. 12. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, and thou redeemest to every man according to his work. All power belongs to God. What we got, God lends it to us. Anything we own, God lends it to us. We don't own anything. Clothes or nothing in this world that we own. But also, he has all power. He has all the mercy in the world. You know, you can go ask somebody else to have mercy on. Well, a human being ain't gonna have mercy. You know, you might need about $5 for somebody. They look at you, I ain't getting no $5 for you. I can't take care of my own self. You know, but yet you go on the road, you might need $3. Somebody's gonna turn around and tell you the same thing. But you don't think about how you treated the person before. But whatever power you need, you go to God for. Whatever mercy you need, you talk to God about it. Because he's the only one that can help. The only one. Any other comments?
I'm reading here in my footnotes, and it says about verse 12, trusting God and working for him. Wealth, honor, power, or prestige add nothing to our value in God's eyes, for the faithful work we do for him has eternal value. He's saying, no matter how much cash flow you have, how much God flow do you have? You can have millions of dollars cash, but you have millions of God's love for you. Is it the same or is it unbalanced? You know, to me, if I'm doing something, if I'm supposed to teach Sunday school, that's a gift. You have to use those gifts as God has chosen you. Am I supposed to get up and be an usher? I don't know. Am I supposed to get up and be evangelistic? No, I don't think so. But, you know, there's always a time when God's going to ask you to step out of your comfort zone and say, I need you to do this for this. And you're not going to get paid for that. The only thing you're going to get paid for is that eternal glory with God.
Yeah, that's going to be your reward in heaven. You know, and my wife can tell you, when I first got up speaking in front of people, I'd be running 100 miles an hour. Sometimes she said she couldn't even understand what I was saying. I said, I was trying to get them to see what I had to say so I can sit down. Because get up in front of people, it wasn't my thing. You know, the first time I ever spoke, church was full. It was Brotherhood Sunday, first Sunday that I introduced the mail course to the church. I remember Connell chasing. Only face I can remember. Because every time I looked up, he was nobody did that. Nobody wasn't saying nothing. All my little cards that I had my notes and stuff on, didn't read a name, not nail one of them. Don't even remember from when I started until when I ended. Because they say when you open your mouth for God, God will speak through you. And that Sunday, he sure would, because I sure didn't know what I was doing. Because I'll never forget it when we got through. Deacon Wayne's badge coming to the side. Come here, boy. I said, what did I do wrong? He got and looked at me with a grinning. You know you were there preaching without a license. I said, huh? Because everything, I had my scriptures, everything that I did my research on. But what I wrote down, I didn't even read it. God put it in my heart and not my head. But that was the best day.
But he was praying for you and you didn't know it.
Yeah. There was a lot of people praying that day. And we go back at Mark 8, chapter verse 36. For what will it profit a man to gain the whole stability and only in God? For David knew that, you know, true stability was in God. But if a man, you sit there and try to gain the whole world, you're going to forfeit your whole life. I mean, like all these people, the people that are rich, when they die, they're not going to have anything. Only thing that's important is your soul. And that's what God wants us to work forward to. Getting that straight so we can go to heaven. Any other comments or questions? If not,